Hey guys, welcome to Cocktails with Creatives, your virtual cocktail hour where we chat real business. I'm your host, Amanda Mays, and I answer from everything to web and brand designer, creative business owner, cocktail lover, and your new biz bestie. Pull up a chair and grab your drink because we are about to dive in deep to all things business, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's get real. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited to be recording this one for you today. So today we are talking about all things investments as a new business owner. And I feel like we always hear constantly, you need to invest in your business, but not a lot of people actually share what they have invested in their business, what worked for them and what didn't. And today I'm sharing that with you. But first, we need to grab our cocktail. So today's cocktail recipe is called Strawberry Tequila Fizz, and this is a good one, I promise. So you're going to start off with some chopped strawberries, about 1/3 cup, and a teaspoon of sugar, and you're going to muddle that together. You're going to add ice and about 3 ounces of tequila, 1 to 2 shots, depending how bad your day was. You're going to shake that in a cocktail shaker, pour it over some ice, add a squeeze of lime, and top with club soda, and you can always garnish with fresh strawberries if you're feeling bougie. Let me know if you try it and if you like it, because this one is one of my favorite as well. Okay, now that we have our cocktail, let's dive deep into investments as a new business owner. So I'm going to preface this with saying that my journey and your journey can be completely different, and what works for some may not work for others. But I just want to peel back the layers and share what has worked with me and what hasn't worked for me. And hopefully that can help you make your own decisions and create your own path and your own chapter. So the first thing I'm going to chat about with you today is actually an investment that I call time investments. And this is something that takes very little money, but it does take a lot more time. And this is perfect when you're first starting out in your business and you don't have a lot to put back into your business, or you're not sure where your first investments should go. So some of my time investments I did was I submersed myself in everything educational. This included podcasts, business book, freebies, YouTube, webinars, all sorts of different things that I could get my hands onto for a relatively low cost or free. So I think I purchased maybe 4 or 5 different business books, and I listened to them on Audible while I was walking. If I was walking or shopping or driving, I was listening to some of my favorite business podcasts. I was doing anything that could help me propel forward in my business, keep me motivated, and give me ideas and just spark some inspiration within my business. And some of those first few months that I did this in my business before I started actually investing into courses and mentorship was some of the best information that I learned. And it was all pretty much free or at a very low cost as like a business book or something like that. So don't be afraid to immerse yourself into free education. Take the time to really dive deep into learning about what inspires you, what inspired other people, and keep that motivation going in your business. Another time investment that I found was really important when I was first starting out was I would create case studies, or you can say pretend clients, and I would take my pretend dream-worthy client through an entire brand and website design so I could craft my skill, I could get better at design, I could work out any kinks with the client experience, and I could really see how I wanted everything to work for my clients. That was another really important part that I took because, one, it provided me with a portfolio that I didn't have really anything fresh for that I wanted for my dream clients to really see, my ideal clients to see. So it helped me build up my portfolio, but it also really helped me learn what I wanted to give to that client and how I wanted to show up for them and the value I wanted to create for them. So I highly recommend that if you're first starting out, before you even have a client, to start really investing your time into perfecting your business and your services and going forward from that. Another question that I always ask is, when is it right to actually start investing income in my business versus just my time? And to answer that from my point of view, like I said, my journey is different from others, so it may be different from you. At about 6 months, I started seeing myself signing more clients. I started feeling like I was showing up more confidently, and I felt like some of the free educational resources uncovered a lot of potential that I wanted to dive deep more into. And that's when I felt that I was ready to start investing more into those topics I wanted to learn about. So the free educational stuff, like free podcasts, kind of scratched the surface, and then I wanted to learn more of that. And then I started seeing that I was getting more clients and I was feeling more confident in that I could take that time and take that money, invest further into it. That could look different for you. It was about 6 months, maybe 7 months for me. But that could be maybe 3 months for you or a year for you. It doesn't have to be a specific timeline. You don't have to hit a specific number. But when you're seeing some traction, you're seeing your business starting to propel forward, and you have that extra income that you can invest back in, that's not going to take food away from your family or anything like that, then that's when I say it's time for you. Okay, so now I'm going to get into my actual first investment I ever made as a business owner, and it wasn't a great one. So I invested in a design course, and I didn't know the person who was putting it on. And I was really excited to start investing and wanting to see those results, that I kind of got a little sidetracked by the results that that person was promising by taking the course, that I didn't really do a lot of research into who she was and what the course actually involved. I just kind of got stuck into those shiny results, and it didn't work out for me. I didn't have an actual connection with this person. There was nothing wrong with her. She was a very nice person, but I had no interaction with her prior to this, so there wasn't really a trust or relationship built there. And of course, I did not do my research. I didn't take the time to really dive deep to what the course actually came with, and the results that they were promising, I did not see, because it was the wrong fit for me. So not anything against the course. I'm not going to name the course or the person who did it, but the problem with the investment, it was actually my own, because I didn't do enough research. I was just really excited to reach those results and to invest for the first time in my business. So when you go to invest for the first time in your business, make sure you do your research. Make sure if it's a course that you're looking really into the course that is going to provide you the content that you are looking to learn. Make sure that the person who is putting on the course, you have some type of relationship, or you follow and you know them and you trust what they're going to teach you. So that was my first investment. It was over $1,000 course. I did get some things out of it, but not what I paid for it. Not as much as I would have liked for the price tag it was. And again, that was my own fault. I'm sure it has worked for some. It just did not work for me. Okay, so now we're going to go on to my best investment. And my best investment was actually another course, but it also came with like a coaching mentorship program. And it changed a lot about how I was showing up in my social media and on my website, and how I was taking my clients through their experiences. It helped me with marketing. It really dove deep into what I was looking for help with. And this time for this course, I knew the course creator. I had trust with her. I had a relationship with her, and I knew that what she had was very valuable, and it definitely was worth the price of the course. I did my research. I knew what was included, and it was amazing. Having any type of coaching or mentorship from a person that has been where we are at and has scaled their business to where they're going, I think is one of the best investments for somebody who is starting out in the first couple years of their business. that to me is the best investment that I have made, and I have heard from others that that's the best investment they have made too, is having that mentorship to go along with it. So yes, this course, I will share this course with you. It is the Booked Out Designer course by Elizabeth McCravey. I believe the doors will be opening again soon. There is a wait list. I will have that in the show notes for you. And if you're listening to this and it's actually already released, again, go to the show notes and you can click on that link to enroll. I highly recommend it. One of the most amazing things that came out of that course, I've talked about before, is the community of women in that course, the women and men in that course, because there are a few men in the course as well, that all rally behind each other. We built an amazing community. It's definitely not a competition. I have gotten some really amazing friends out of this course, and it is one of the reasons that I propelled myself forward to make a podcast, because I wanted to create that same community that Elizabeth had created for us. So moving on, I also want to tell you about some investments that I have made into my own website, and that has really helped me stand out and reach my ideal audience, and that I always suggest for my own clients. So when you're investing in your website, you also want to invest in two other things, and that is copywriting if you're not a good writer, and brand photography for professional photos. So we'll go over copywriting first. So I'm not good with words. You may see how I stumble over my words. Sometimes I have to stop and think of what I want to say, and that's just who I am. I try to show up here kind of authentically. Sometimes I'll mess up my words. Yeah, that's just me. I'm not the grammar police. In fact, somebody just wrote me the other day that I had wrote goggles instead of Google on some of my forms, and that was embarrassing. So I'm definitely not good with writing. I'm definitely not good with grammar. That's not my strong suit. So what I did was I hired a copywriter to help me convey what I wanted to share with my audience, and she showed up in incredible ways for me. She helped take what was in my mind and put it on paper, put it on my website, and get the point across. So when I'm working with a website client and they are not good with words, some people are just natural, some people aren't. I'm not. I always suggest they hire a copywriter. Yes, it's an added expense to your website, but I can tell you, first and foremost, I DIY'd my copy at first, and I would get inquiries that would say, oh, hey, I just want to let you know you misspelled this. And that was kind of a blow to my confidence, because it's not my strong suit. I did try my best and I messed up. Sometimes that happens. But once I got my new copy on my website, I was able to show up more confidently, but also I started hearing phrases and inquiries saying, I felt like you were speaking right to me. And that was worth all of the time and energy and investment that I put into that copy, because I was getting my point across and I was speaking directly to who I wanted to speak to, and they were hearing what I had to say instead of saying, oh, you said goggles instead of Google. You want to make sure that when you are showing up online, you're showing up with confidence and you are also speaking directly to who you want to talk to, and a copywriter can help you do that if you're not good with words like me. The next thing is brand photos. Please, whatever you do, do not invest in a professionally designed website or even a website template and then put selfies or dark iPhone photos on your website, because it just won't look good. No matter how great the design is, the images are just as important as the design. So I highly suggest hiring a brand photographer. In fact, that is one of my top recommendations and an actual requirement to work on the web design service of mine, is that we have brand photos. If you look at it this way, if you're going on to let's say you're going to Amazon and you're looking for a product, and you search the product and they come up with a product that's got like a blurry, not professional photo. You can't really make out or it looks dated, are you going to buy that? Probably not, because you're not sure what you're getting. The same thing goes for service providers. If you're looking to hire an interior designer and you get onto their website and all of their images are iPhone images that look like they were taken 5-6 years ago, everything feels a little dingy and dark and not professional, you probably aren't going to hire them, because that's not the work that you're looking to hire for, right? So you want to make sure that your images are speaking for your services or your products, whatever type of business you have. So we went over some of my main investments that I have made in my business. We talked about time investments, some not so great investments I made, the best investment I made, and investments that I suggest to all my clients, which is copywriting and brand photography. And of course, I suggest web design and brand design, but that's not something I actually have invested in. So I want to really be clear of the investments that I have made. I do recommend brand and web design because it really does help set you apart from others. It helps you reach your ideal audience, get clear on who you're selling to and how to sell to them. We cover everything from brand messaging to a brand voice to your ideal client, and designing for those things in mind. It's definitely worth its weight in gold. And I do highly suggest doing that investment when the time is ready for you. But that's not something I have personally invested in. That is just something I have been able to do for myself, which would probably fall under my time investment. So like I said, everybody's journey is different. Depends on where you are and what you do. Your journey may be different. So I also want to talk about some future investments that I'm making that were kind of scary for me, but I'm so glad I'm doing them. So the biggest investment I have made to date was my course and mentorship program, which, like I said, was the best investment. But I have some future investments that I have already started, and I'm just waiting for them to start. And I think that they are also going to propel my business forward, and I thought I would share them with you. So my next investment is actually a in-person mastermind, and I am very excited about this. This is the first in-person event that I have been to, and it was a little bit bigger of a price tag, but it is a very much a topic that I'm really interested in, and I know I'm going to get a lot of benefit from it. And so I'm excited to come back in a few months and share how this investment has changed and propelled my business forward. But until then, I'll share just a little bit about it. So a mastermind, if you're not sure what it is just a smaller group, not like a conference where it's open to, hundreds of people, but this is like a smaller group of people in industries of your own that come together for a small mentorship. So the program that I am taking is actually through Sobo and is in Nashville, and this mastermind is for lots of different industries, but they are like entrepreneur industries, so coaching, photography, design, things like that. And we are talking all about passive income and bringing that passive income into your business. So that is actually the future of my business. That's the next step that I'm going to be taking in my business. So I'm very excited to be doing this. If you are looking to do a mastermind or a conference, definitely, again, do your research. Find the topic that's going to best give you the best educational value that you can get. So with in-person events, they're a little bit different. I haven't done one yet, but I've done a lot of research on it. And not only are they good for the educational purpose and really learning about that keynote that you're learning about and that topic that you're learning about, but they're also really great for in-person networking and building relationships in person. And a lot of times when we're online, especially through COVID, we know that you miss that interaction with people, and having that in-person meeting, whether it's a mastermind or a conference, can really help with the networking side of things and building relationships and that community aspect of things. So that is a wrap on my personal investments that I have made in my business. I know that there are more to come, and I will love to do an updated episode on the more investments I make in my business and how I have felt that helped my business or hurt my business. But I also want to hear some of the investments you have made that you hope to make, maybe some bad investments that you wish you didn't make, any of that. So feel free to share that with us over on Instagram or our text message number, which you'll be hearing in just a minute. And I can't wait to connect more about this and talk more about it with you guys. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out. I am an open book when it comes to these types of things. I definitely think they should be talked about. So I can't wait to hear some of your stories and hear some of your feedback. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our podcast. And hey, if you have any type of story you want to share with us, whether it is a nightmare client, a business tip, a win, a loss, I want you to text this number, 989-545-1195. Everything is anonymous, no contact information will be stored, and I want to share your experiences with our amazing community. You're not alone here, and we want you to be a part of this podcast as well. And I want to stay connected. Please come visit me over on Instagram at Amanda Mays Design and our website, amandamays.com. See you next time.